Good rising, brethren. This is Big Judah coming to you guys from California. Before I begin, give all praises to the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother, who is wisdom, who is the Holy Spirit. Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. Prayer to the Most High blesses this lesson this afternoon, gives us more knowledge and understanding of the events of the past, in order to understand the events that are currently happening on the earth, so we get a much better understanding of things that are soon to come on the earth. As I was reading this morning and studying, the Most High brought more knowledge and understanding of the events of the past and how these guys have been hiding all this information. How when they decided to canonize books, many of these books that they have hidden from us have given us so much information of the days of these end days right here, giving us a lot more understanding. And without these other books, it just makes it very, very difficult to get a good understanding of what was supposed to be happening here at the end. We're going to be getting into a little bit more of the Old Testament pseudepigrapha, Volume 1. And it's just amazing to see, we weren't able to have our hands on many of these books because, well, first of all, we couldn't read. We're not allowed to read, not allowed to study. That was what they took away from us because the Most High and the Holy Spirit has been working with us, works with us, opens our eyes to information, gives us a more understanding. And they know that. So they know that, they knew to keep us from books, keep us from reading, making it seem as if, you know, if you actually read and study, that there's actually something wrong with that. And it's cool to be an idiot. And that's exactly what it is they wanted us to do, you know, not be intelligent, not think of actually reading and studying and actually looking in the past, only taking what they say as the gospel truth. And that's still what's happening today. They're taking what the Gentiles have told us as the gospel truth without even reading or studying for themselves to see if it's even true. That's even evident in many of the comments when they're talking about, Deuteronomy 28. And see, they told us that Deuteronomy 28:68 is pretty much meaning that it is the transatlantic slave trade. That's what they've been pushing this whole time. Well, those that verse can be pretty much can happen here, being moved from one place in South America up to North America, or vice versa, or to Central America. I said if you move to another land, it doesn't take, if you moved a couple hundred miles, it's still a brand new land that you don't know. But see, we've been taught that or shown that it only means from Africa to here. And then all of a sudden, if you say, yeah, I'm sure some things, why people were moved from Africa to here as well. But it was also fulfilled, moving other ways, moving within the Americas, okay? Moving to from the Americas to, Europe, and moved around in different places over there. There's definitely many ways that many of these prophecies can be fulfilled and have been fulfilled. But when you're dead set on one way and that's it, that's the way the enemy thinks. It's always got to be one way and that's it. That's the only way. America has to be totally destroyed. And that's it. That's the only way that, America is Babylon. I'm getting that quite a bit in the comment section, which is kind of funny, considering the fact that the Babylonian system has been here way before America. So to sit there and try to, push it all on a country that's relatively only a couple hundred years old, a very relatively a young country, how it hasn't been around to do all those horrible things. What about when the Spanish got here? America wasn't here. So you can't keep on saying the same things over and over again. They keep saying, "Hey, Big Judy, you need to explain this." I'm like, "You need to explain the Middle East before I got to explain anything." I've done plenty of videos asking questions, showing you how there's no archaeological or very little to no archaeological evidence for many of the things that said happen over there actually occurring over there. Haven't seen any videos of anyone trying to actually prove that Abraham was over there, prove that Egypt was over there during the time of Joseph, prove that, you know, Joshua actually went into the promised land over there. Haven't seen very many people trying to prove, you know, the walls of Jericho falling over there. But it's always trying to get me to prove my point. Well, they need to prove theirs first, because that's where they're saying everything originated. If everything originated over there, then you need to prove that point first, which we know they won't. They'll just ignore it because that's what they always do. But now we're going to be getting into the Antichrist again. And there was actually prophecy that actually was fulfilled, and you're going to see it right now um, in the book of Ezra that talks about the Antichrist. See, that's why they have to hide these books, because then they can just make up, Left Behind, Nikolai Carpathia, and the Left Behind movies, and all that stuff happening over there with the Antichrist raising up and building the third temple and all that other stuff. That's why they have to hide this information. You're gonna, and if you know about the pictures of Jesus and the evolution of the pictures of Jesus between the Catholics and the Protestants, this is going to make perfect sense. Check this out. Check up top. I just took a picture of this part so you see where I'm getting it from. The Greek Apocalypse of Ezra, page, I want to say it's 575. Okay. And all right, the Old Testament pseudepigrapha. Now we're going to concentrate down here. Okay. Main part, but we'll read some of it here. The Antichrist. And they led me away to the north, and I saw a man there restrained with iron bars, and I asked, "Who is this?" And he said to me, "This is the one who says, I am the Son of God, and he who made stones bread and water wine." And the prophet said, "Make known to me what sort of appearance he has, and I will inform the race of men, lest they believe in him." Okay, so this is so you don't believe in the Antichrist, all right? And he said to me, "The appearance of his face is as of a wild man. His right eye is like a star rising at dawn, and the other is unmoving. His mouth is 1 cubit. His teeth are a span long. Okay. His fingers like scythes. Okay. And the soles of his feet 2 span. And on his forehead, the inscription Antichrist. Okay. Main part we're getting to right now. He was exalted up to heaven, and he will descend as far as Hades. All right. Okay. One time he will be a child, another an old man. This is very important. Okay. That's really also part of the key there. One time he will be a child, another an old man. And the prophet said, "Lord, how do you permit the race of men to stray?" And God said, "Hear, my prophet, he becomes a child and an old man, and let no one believe him that he is my beloved son." All right, this is huge. If you are aware, okay, the Catholics constantly portrayed their God, Jesus, as a baby. So Catholics were pushing the whole baby, and Mary, right? You guys see that, and that's what they pushed for a very long time. Then when the Protestants, broke away from the Catholic Church, they changed Jesus from being a baby to being a grown man, which goes exactly with what you're seeing right here. One time he will be a child, another an older man or old man. So that's exactly what has happened as far as prophecy is concerned. Now, many of these prophecies now, they've already happened. So when we get a hold of them and start to get this information, we look back to see if these prophecies were actually fulfilled. Okay, and this one was fulfilled through the Catholic Church and the Protestant Church. So we can just take a couple of pictures here. Take a look. So when the Catholics were out there pushing it, he was portrayed as a baby. This is like a little old man baby, huh? Okay, you got Mary, and then you got Jesus. There's Jesus, and he's portrayed as a baby. Same thing right here, Mary and a baby. So this was how the Antichrist was going to be portrayed at the beginning. Okay, so I'm sure we're all familiar with seeing pictures of baby Jesus right here. So now it was already prophesied in the book of Ezra there, all right, that he was going to have, he was going to be a baby. Then later on, he's going to be portrayed as a man. So now we got it right here. When the Protestants took over, and started up their own church and everything, started up their own church, They broke away from the Catholic tradition of portraying him as a baby and started to portray him as an older man. This right here, all right, is the Antichrist that was already talked about a long time ago. You got pictures of him and everything else. Now we're talking about how in the last video about after they this all this information comes out and it destroys their whole belief system, then the demons can bring out their own truth, and they don't have to hide it. They don't have to try to hide it behind baby Jesus and grown man Jesus. They'll just because they're going to have their Christianity absolutely destroyed with the events that are going to be coming in the near future. So now when you go back, what it says right here, it makes total sense. He was exalted up to heaven. These churches have exalted these images of baby Jesus and grown up Jesus up to heaven. And then he will descend as far as Hades, and he's going to be brought down. He's already being brought down slowly, but it's going to be, a rapid, you know, decline very, very soon when the Most High really shows who he is and who his people are. So right here it says, let no one believe him that he is my beloved son. See, they're talking about him being the son of God. They showed you that the baby was the son of God and that the grown man was also the son of God. And the Most High is telling us and everyone else, do not believe that this person or these images right here, he's not even a real person, these images right here are my son. This is absolutely amazing. And I said, and you can tell with the mark, you can see the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast is these crosses these people are still, adoring, these pictures that they're still adoring. That's making it very clear that if you're believing in that, you're believing in the Antichrist. And that's why they push that the Antichrist is still coming in the future. That he's not here yet, but it's an entity that's coming in the future. And then you don't have to worry about it because you're going to be raptured away before the real Antichrist shows up. All the while, they've been serving the Antichrist the whole time. And this Antichrist here, this last one here, was raised up here at the end during the time of the Renaissance. That's what they brought over here and forced our people, okay, to worship. And that's what they're still pushing even till this day. They're still pushing that Antichrist. They're still pushing that whole thing about, I want to go to church on Sunday and worship God. No, you want to go and worship the Antichrist. You want to worship, and just because now all of a sudden y'all say, "Oh, we don't have a picture," the damage has already been done. The damage has already been done. Because even now, as we're bringing out the truth, very few people are able to accept it because they got that Antichrist image ingrained, emblazoned in their minds, and they can't get away from that. So again, when you read this again, he says he was exalted up to heaven. That image was exalted. Okay, he will descend as far as Hades. He's going to be brought down, and as soon as that image is brought down, then they're open to worship fallen angels. They're going to be looking for anything to worship because that's what they're going to do. They're going to be open for anything. All right. And it says he was exalted to heaven. He will descend as far as Hades. One time he will be a child, another an old man. It's amazing, isn't it? How the Most High is working. And the prophet said, Lord, how do you permit the race of men to stray? And then God said, hear my prophet. He becomes a child and an old man, and let no one believe him, okay, that he is my beloved son. So they said these prophecies are just jumping off the page. So the people still today that are still following these churches and still following these images, still following the cross and all this other stuff, you know, I said you can show them this video right here. I said and prove it wrong. I said there's so much information coming out now. I said we're not stuck in just the 80 books. I said there's a whole lot of other information. I said that's been written a long time ago that they've been hiding. So again, as a baby, as a man, Antichrist. Do not follow him. And many of us followed him for a time until our eyes were opened. And now the Most High is bringing down all their lies. All praise is to the Most High, Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother, who is wisdom, who is the Holy Spirit. Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. Shalom.